Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Lieutenant General. I think you and Honorable Adams must have a moment.
Now at the room, one of us will come out.
No.
Give us a room. One of us will come.
Lieutenant General, you can't say that. That's like a threat.
Say again?
Point of order.
Can't do that.
General Mkhwanazi is threatening a member of parliament. Please.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I wanted to tell the honorable member that her time has ended.
But the general did not tell who is going to come out. He said, one of us is going to come out. He did not tell which one.
Honorable Chair, I begged for a minute for the old member because I took that time to air my unhappiness about Mr. Adams. Can you please?
Yeah.
No, she knows I'm forever benevolent.
Honorable members, can I beg with the chairperson to please allow you this minute that I'm going to take from you, because I feel this one must talk about when Honorable Adams is here. The issue of that unrest that involves my child. Honorable Chair, if you will add that minute to Honorable Member, because I'm taking this time from you.
Nice to be you, Lieutenant General, because you can even
Honorable-
put a minute.
Honorable members.
We get shut down very quickly. Okay.
Honorable Adams is here and is listening to this. What pains me is to see a leader of society and coming here and talk bad about what happened in July. And I was there on the ground. I faced the fire. That X5 I talked about earlier that I bought in Pretoria. I drove that car alone in the car because I was isolating, because General Mkhwanazi had died and people that were General Mkhwanazi were with us in the operation. So I had to isolate. In that isolation, I had to go and see the operations. I got into my own car. I drove through Phoenix with my handgun, hoping that someone will attack me and I was going to fight with that handgun. If I die, I die. Because I wanted to see these attacks and these murders that were happening in Phoenix with my own eyes, with no escort. I drove that night. That's a sacrifice that I made. The riot starts and the riot ends, Mr. Adams. The ministers, they come down to KZN after the riots. After the riots, they visit KZN. Why do they visit? It's because their boss, which is the President of the Republic, is coming to visit the following day to assess the damage. So when ministers arrive late at the airport and they drive and they see what is happening around and we brief them, the following day the President lands. I'm the one who's doing the briefing. The following day the President lands. That time we're busy with the mop-up operation. We are cleaning now. The dust is settled. We are cleaning. The President arrives. I'm the one that takes the President around all these sites in KZN. In Durban. Me, this one. The President is satisfied and he hears the plan of how we're going to deal with this and investigation and so forth. He gets on the aeroplane, he flies out. 2 days later, we are busy with cleanup investigation. There's no riot at all. I then get into the car. I drive with that X5 to Pretoria. And arrive in Pretoria. The following day, my wife gives birth, cesarean section. And she stays in a hospital, Mr. Adams, and she gets out the following day with the stitches in the stomach. I put her in that X5, Mr. Adams. I drive with her and that toddler, 1-year-old, for 1,000 kilometers, Mr. Adams. And I leave her with a family. I go to the aeroplane, I fly back to Durban. I'm not there with a child. I left them like, that's a sacrifice that I don't think anyone will ever make. That's what I contributed in this July unrest. To come here and make it look like I neglected the duty, I prioritized the child over the safety of the citizens. You were not there, sir. I was here. So it is that I want to address because it's a very sensitive thing to me, personally. So if I can do that and someone who's a leader of society doesn't appreciate, I take an offense on it. The facts are there. Timelines of the violence are there. We are not in a business of thumb-sucking days. we must say the riots happened on this day, it ended on this day. This day what happened, and that day what happened, and that day what happened. So when I go, it's because there's no more violence. So for him to say, I neglect the job, it's the same with the former Speaker of this Parliament.
The KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner finally got to address Fasiel Adams directly. Fasiel Adams is a leader of the National Coloured Congress, a political party that is represented in the South Africa's National Assembly, which is the parliament. So this fellow called Adams, he has been at the center of the police factional wars. He's one of the politicians who over time have proven to be in the pockets of a certain clique within the SAPS, and can even be said to a larger extent the criminal cartels, because the SAPS faction that Fasiel Adams has been doing the dirty work for, it is the SAPS faction which is linked to the criminal cartels or criminal syndicates, right? So by virtue of him having allowed himself or having availed himself to be used in these factional laws, he is therefore assisting the criminal cartels not just to weaken the South African Police Service, but to capture the South African Police Service, to ensure that the South African Police Service is unable to detect and of course to curb the criminal activities that these criminal cartels are engaged in. It is what Mkhwanazi spoke about, that you've got politicians who are working with criminals who have infiltrated the SAPS. And you look at the history of this fellow called Fasiel Adams. He is a gangster. There are pictures of him. He may claim that he has left that life behind, but his conduct, because here's the thing, words do not really matter much. What matters much, it is what the person does. It is how the person conducts themselves. So how this fellow has been conducting himself points to the fact that he has not left the life of criminality. He's just a useful tool at the hands of the criminal syndicates, who of course are targeting the SAPS, and they know that they must have people also within the legislature, because that is where the laws are made. So now these criminal syndicates are not just looking at controlling the SAPS, they also now looking to controlling the politicians. And the revelations that are emerging out from the Nhlanhla Commission as well, even the ad hoc committee, about people like Julius Malema, you then realize that actually these criminal syndicates have planted their own people in terms of within the legislature to ensure that the laws that get to be passed are the laws that are going to protect and advance the interest of the very same criminal cartels. And this is how this came about. Remember, this was called the political funding. For people like Fasiel Adams and the Julius Malemas to be able to fund their political parties, to fund the programs, especially the election machinery, they need money. So then you realize that's where these criminal syndicates and cartels come in. They've funded these people. So now these people have to return the favor. Thank you guys for tuning in. My name is Tebus Kosana. The name of the platform is Izwi Labansundu, the voice for Africans. Kama Kuma Africa.